Okay, so welcome back. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go over optimizing and scaling. Now, if you guys have not watched part 1 or part 2, make sure you pause this video and you go watch part 1 that was on tracking and part 2 that was on testing. I went through a lot of content and you guys need to make sure that you go through that. If not, then this section might not make as much sense and you need to make sure that you have a complete picture and not just come to this video and just watch it straight from the bat. Okay, so even if you do have experience when it comes to tracking and testing, watch those two segments first of all before you continue on with this video. But this video is going to be value packed, and what I'm really going to go through is specifically how to optimize your campaigns to be able to squeeze out the highest return from them. And from that point, how you can actually systematically start to scale those campaigns out, so you can really start putting or going from $100 a day ad spend to $1,000 a day to multiple $1,000s a day, and so on and so forth. Okay, and still do it profitably as well. Okay, so in order to make the highest return on your ad spend, you want to be able to identify 3 sets of data. You want to be able to identify campaign elements that are losing you money. You want to be able to identify campaign elements that are breaking even, and also campaign elements that are real profitable winners. So what we do is we actually utilize a methodology called the traffic light bidding system. Okay, the traffic light bidding system. So basically, when we actually get some data within our campaigns, we want to basically look at our campaigns and make decisions based on a traffic light principle. So a red light is going to basically be where our EPV is lower than our cost per click or our cost per visitor. And in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to pause that variable. Okay, if our EPV is lower than our cost per click or our cost per visitor, then we're going to pause it. If our EPV is close to our cost per click or our cost per visitor, and cost per click and cost per visitor, they're interchangeable words. Okay, so basically how much it costs you to get a visitor to your landing page. Okay, if your EPV is close to your cost per click or your cost per visitor, then we're going to make a tweak. Now, what I'm referring to by close is within usually a 20% range. Okay, so if it's within a 20% range of your EPV, then we'll tweak it. Okay, so then that might be making an adjustment. It might be lowering the bid. It might just be a little tweak to the campaign. Okay, if our EPV is higher than our cost per click, then we're going to scale it. Okay, so again, if we're going to be earning more from our visitors than what we're actually paying to acquire our visitors, that means we're going to be making money, and that means we want to put as much money behind that and start scaling that specific variable. Now, here's a live campaign example. Here's actually a screenshot inside of my Test Easily account for different operating systems, and you can see that within a specific campaign, we're targeting multiple operating systems, but different operating systems have a different level of profitability. So again, we want to make sure that we look at 2 main metrics, our CPV and our EPV. Okay, so our CPV is our cost per visitor, and we're paying 10 cents to be able to get somebody to click on the ad to come over from our landing page. And we basically want to identify the red lights first of all, which are going to be the elements that we're going to pause. Okay, so anything where our EPV is lower than our CPV, we're going to pause. So in this instance, Mac OS X, we're paying 10 cents for that traffic, but we're only earning 5 cents on average for that traffic, so we're going to pause that. Okay, for Mac OS, okay, we're earning 10 cents for that traffic, but yet we're only earning 8 cents for that traffic. So that's going to be a red light as well, and we're going to pause that. For Windows XP, we're paying 10 cents for that traffic, and we're literally earning 0 cents for that traffic. So we definitely want to pause that. Okay, so we'll go into our traffic network. We'll then unselect or untarget Mac OS X, okay, or maybe even put in a blacklist in some cases. We're going to untarget Mac OS X, Mac OS, okay, and the Windows XP. I'm going to stop targeting those options, okay, because these are red lights. Now we're going to go for the amber lights, okay, and the amber lights, this is going to be where our EPV is within a 20% range of our CPV, okay. So in this instance, Windows 7, okay, we're paying 10 cents for that traffic and we're earning 10 cents for that traffic. We're breaking even. So this is going to be an amber light. Android OS, okay, we're paying 10 cents for that traffic and we're earning 11 cents for that traffic. So again, that's within a 20% range. So we're going to put that as an amber light category. And Linux, we're paying 10 cents for that traffic and we're earning 12 cents for that traffic. And again, within a 20% range. So that's an amber light. So all of these elements, Windows 7, Android OS and Linux, I will then take that into another campaign in its own separate campaign. I'll remove it from the main campaign, move it into its own separate campaign. And what I'll then do is I'll actually make an adjustment. So I might actually start bidding lower, because think about it. If we can lower our bids from 10 cents to maybe like 8 cents, right, for that traffic, and we're still earning 10 cents, 11 cents, and 12 cents respectively for that traffic, we're going to have bigger margins to work with. Okay, and that's going to make it more profitable. So again, Windows 7, Android OS, and Linux, I'll then take into its own campaign bucket. And I will then lower my bids for these specific operating systems, okay? And then that's going to give me a bit more margin to work with. It might give me less traffic, but it's going to be more margin overall, okay? Now, our green lights are our ones that we're going to want to scale. So in this instance, Windows 10, I'm paying 10 cents for that traffic, and we're earning 17 cents for that traffic, okay? So we definitely want to put as much money as possible behind Windows 10. Windows 8.1, we're spending 10 cents for that traffic, we're earning 25 cents for that traffic. We definitely want to put as much money as possible into that. Chrome OS, 10 cents for that traffic, and we're earning 53 cents. And Xbox OS 10, we're spending 10 cents for that traffic, and we are earning 15 cents on average for that traffic. So again, these are green lights, so we want to scale these, and in order to scale these, we can actually duplicate these specific operating systems into multiple campaigns to be able to get more reach. Sometimes we can increase frequency cap, sometimes we can increase bids. There's multiple things that you can do to be able to increase volume, to be able to get as much traffic as possible from these green light operating systems. Okay, so again, we utilize the traffic light bidding strategy for every single variable within our campaign, not just operating systems, for our ads, our landing pages, our specific offers, anything. We want to always look at it from a traffic light bidding strategy. Okay, and we ideally like to spend at least 3x of the payout of the offer before we make any adjustments on our campaign. Okay, now the 3 stages to growing your business at scale. First of all, you want to get your EPV by running traffic, collecting data. If you do not want to spend your money to be able to collect data, you are never going to get to the next stage, okay, which is being able to optimize things, okay? You have to be willing to spend. And the only way you get your EPV is by getting conversions, and you want to make sure you have a statistically significant amount of conversions where you know it's fact, it's not just a bluff. Let's say, for example, if you actually flip a coin once or twice, it might be heads twice. Does that mean you have a 100% chance of getting heads? No. So you want to make sure you're spending enough money to be able to get multiple conversions every single day throughout your campaign. Okay, so you have a statistically significant EPV. From that point, you want to be able to generate traffic for less than your EPV. Okay, and again, if you can basically generate traffic for less than your EPV, you are going to make money. And the third thing you want to do is you want to basically run marketing experiments to improve your EPV. So that's when we're talking about testing. Testing is going to be the lifeblood as to how much you can actually increase your EPV compared to your actual CPV. So the more you test, the more you're going to be able to increase that EPV. Okay, and the marketing experiments like multivariate testing, A/B testing, testing angles is going to allow you to increase your EPV more and more and more. And if you can do those things, if you can simply do those 3 things, you will literally make money. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no maybes. If you can get your CPV to be lower than your EPV, you will make money, okay? But the reason why most people can't scale their business is because they don't have enough margin to stay profitable as soon as the traffic costs increase. And you just have to accept the reality that traffic platforms are going to increase, okay, in price. Places like Facebook, a lot of people are now saying it's dead just because of the fact that they've increased their prices, which is complete nonsense, okay? Every single traffic platform and every single business works on supply and demand. The more demand there is, and the less supply there is, the more prices are going to go up. It's just basic economics, okay? So you need to understand that traffic prices are still probably going to continue to go up, okay? They're not going down. But if you're working on small margins, you're never going to be able to scale. And oftentimes what happens is as soon as people want to scale, but they want to pump more budget behind the ads campaigns that are working, oftentimes the ROIs dip so dramatically that they can't keep it up. But if you literally can focus right on building bigger margins, you're going to be able to go out there and crush it. And let me give you an example of this, okay? So let's say, for example, that your CPV is 10 cents and your EPV is 11 cents. Even though you're making money, if you increase your bids by just 20% to 12 cents, then you'll immediately start losing money, okay? Literally, if you just increase your bids from 10 cents to 12 cents, then, and your EPV stays constant, then you're going to go from making money to losing money. And this is the case with a lot of people, where as their costs increase, all their profitability literally goes out the window. And if your CPV in this instance is 10 cents, but let's say, for example, your EPV is now 40 cents. If you increase your bids by 100% to 20 cents, then you will still be able to make money and you'll still be able to scale effectively because you've still got healthy profit margins, okay? So you've really got two options here. In the first scenario, you're losing money just by increasing your bids by 20%. And in the second scenario, you're still making money even if you increase your bids 100%, okay? So even if traffic prices went up by 100%, you'll still be making money in the second scenario. So you can either, A, keep trying to find a temporary guru tactic to try and get cheap clicks. There's so many people talking about the new traffic hack to be able to manipulate an algorithm to get cheap clicks. And yes, it might work, but it's not going to work long term, okay? Because the algorithms always get smarter, the platforms always figure you out, and as a result, what ends up happening is you end up having a short-lived tactic, okay? Or B, you can focus on consistently growing your EPV and be consistently profitable as traffic prices increase, okay? So in my personal opinion, the best thing you want to do if you want to have sustainable growth where you're not just here one day and then next gone the other day, is you need to focus on mastering on increasing your EPV. And if you can do that, if you know methods on how you can increase your EPV on a consistent basis, you're always going to be ahead of the competition, okay? Because as other people are just literally drowned out because they can't compete on these other traffic platforms that are quote unquote expensive, you're out there still making money because you focus on the main thing that's going to have the biggest weight in this business long term, which is controlling your EPV, which you're in control of, and making sure you maximize it as much as possible, okay? Now you might be wondering, how on earth do you increase your EPV? Here's some ways, okay? Make sure you write this down. Number one, you can test different marketing angles, okay? So again, you want to be creative, like we made mention of before in the tracking segment, okay, and in the testing segment that we spoke about the male enhancement pills. One element or one way to be able to market it is to be able to talk about how the male enhancement pill can get you bigger. Another angle they can go through is how this male enhancement pill can help with erectile dysfunction. And another angle can be this male enhancement pill helps with stamina. Okay, so again, these are different marketing angles. So again, you want to make sure you focus on that. And in the Tigress Alert actual device, we spoke about how one angle could be marketing it to old people, another one could be marketing it to people that have young daughters. Okay, marketing it against predators. So again, test different marketing angles. You'll be surprised. One angle could have a much higher conversion rate than another angle, and that means your EPV is going to ultimately be higher with one angle versus another angle. Another thing you can do is landing page scripts. Okay, so pop-ups, pop-unders, all that kind of good stuff, it can really help. Countdown timers and other dynamic scripts as well, they can really help to improve the performance of your landing page and to help with your conversion rates, okay? Split testing and multivariate testing, like we spoke about in the testing module, that literally, right, has changed so many people's campaigns. It's literally ridiculous, okay? But split testing and multivariate testing, when you do it, it usually always has a positive impact, okay? You usually find one variation that can perform much better, and then from that point, you can just stick with that variation, especially if it has statistical significance. Also, you want to make sure you optimize your targeting. Oftentimes when you run campaigns like we may mention of, there's going to be a lot of bad elements and there's going to be some good elements. But if you just optimize your targeting and make sure you focus in on the stuff that does have the highest EPV, that can also help as well. Also, retargeting is very powerful. You can do one channel retargeting where you just retarget people on one platform. For example, if somebody comes on a Facebook newsfeed, you can then retarget them on maybe the Facebook right-hand column, okay, or maybe on the Facebook newsfeed again, or Facebook newsfeed on multiple devices. And you can also do cross-channel retargeting. For example, if you have somebody that comes from your ad on Facebook, you can actually use, for example, Site Scout, an RTB platform, to retarget people with banners, okay? And those banners can be on different websites that are outside of Facebook, okay? So that's cross-channel retargeting. Email capture and long-term marketing as well. So email capture is basically where you can build a list, and then from that point you can email the list, or if anything, you can even retarget the list as well. But you can also have multiple long-term marketing email sequences and even long-term retargeting sequences by building the email list. You can also monetize a visitor on multiple offers. So instead of telling somebody to buy just one product, you can have multiple products that somebody can buy on your landing page, and then from that point you can actually make double the commission or triple the commission. Okay, and also with upsells as well, cross sells and down sells is something that you can do to be able to make, if you do own an offer yourself, to be able to increase the EPV they actually make on that traffic. And lastly, you can sell unmonetized excess traffic. Okay, so all of the traffic that you can't get to convert, you can actually sell that to a traffic broker that can actually buy that traffic for you, okay, or buy that traffic from you. Okay, so again, you can actually make money from the stuff that you can't get to convert on your traffic, on your media buyers, and then from that point you can actually sell any traffic